Hey guys, Seven Moves from the left here. So, question this week is, what's wrong with being wrong? And if you're curious about what the heck this question is, where I'm getting it from, or why I'm doing this, to the why I'm doing this, I don't even know anymore. But what it is and where I'm getting it from is I do a live stream every Tuesday and Thursday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. ish, twitch.tv/ seventh moves from the left. So you guys can come on in. I know it's early, but give it a shot. It's quarantine. You definitely can be awake at 7 a.m. at some point on a Tuesday or a Thursday. Come chat with me. Let me know what you think about the question of the week. Or it could be about anything, really. Maybe I'll even change the question if I can get a good one. Leave some questions because I'm running out of ideas here. Please help me. So, yeah, please check that out. If not, let's watch a video. Let's answer that question too. What's wrong with being wrong? I actually don't think there's anything wrong with being wrong at all. Being wrong can be an exhilarating experience, a frustrating and sometimes depressing experience, but it's also freeing. When you're wrong and you're shown that you're wrong, that means that you're not wrong anymore. I do a lot of debates. I know this is social taboo, but that's kind of the whole thing I built this channel on. Uh, I do debates at work, at parties, with family members, at church, any situation I can get into. If someone has an idea that I don't agree with or I want to expand more on, I open up a debate with somebody. But I approach it, I think, differently than most. I definitely know that a lot of people I've debated with, they tend to not do it this way. I debate because I have a thing that I think that might be wrong, might be right. Maybe I convince you that I'm right. That means that I was right. If you convince me that I'm wrong, that means I was wrong. And that's a good thing because, again, I wasn't wrong for long. Excuse me. And I think a lot of people do not debate this way. And I think they should. That should be the basis of all our non professional debates. I'm not talking about people who are politicians or board members or anything else like that, whose their whole job is to get donations and interest in a topic, who are mostly just publicly debating to win social points. That's not what our debate should look like. Our debate should be much more casual and more about gaining information. We all have our social biases and cognitive dissidences and such that sometimes prevent us from seeing all the information. But when we're dealing with a real live human being, I think we tend to be able to open ourselves up a little more. I wish more people would do this. A lot of debates I've had to kind of pull the ripcord because they've gotten a little nasty. I have found, though, that when they start getting there, pulling it back a little bit and trying to find some type of common ground. If nothing else, I think most human beings alive today, most, will agree that they want what's best for humanity. And you're allowed to disagree with somebody on what is best for humanity or how to obtain what's best for humanity. A good example is I had a coworker who I would debate with for hours while we are making hamburgers at work. It was kind of a open thing. I don't want to really say the name of the work because it's not relevant, and I don't want to get in trouble because I might want to work there again someday. Probably not, but might have to. But we would debate for hours, and I know that the customers actually enjoyed this a lot because they would sit there, and after they were done with their food, they would sit there for sometimes hours just listening to us to go back and forth. Now I know that my attitude going into these debates was always, I want to see what this guy on the absolute opposite end of the spectrum, this communist, socialist, left wing, authoritarian kind of guy, has to say about my freedom loving capitalistic ideologies. Because while I know I'll never agree with those topics, I'm sure that he has some good points that I'm missing. I'm sure he is the way he is for inherently good reasons, not because he wants to watch the world burn. And it did help me kind of get a better understanding of the other side of the aisle there, as well as kind of change some of my ideals. So I guess in a way, he was more successful than I was. But in another way, I took a lot more away from those debates. I cherished them because they were kind of formative. I know other people did. And I understand that debating at work with customers and employees can be a little scary. And I certainly won't suggest that anyone does that. But if you feel the need to do so, please, please, please try to take into account the suggestion that I made that I'll repeat again. Don't try to prove yourself right to them. Prove yourself right to yourself. Be open to the information that this person is trying to share with you, so that if for some reason you are wrong or you find that there is some holes in your logic, you can fill them in. Whether that means changing your ideology completely or just slightly modifying is up to you in the debate. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I know a lot of policies and things are against debates, and I think that that is actually part of the problem right now as well. We don't have opportunities to really test our ideologies against each other. A lot of workplaces, because they've had a couple fights, they say no more debates, no more talking, no more this, no more that. A lot of public forums and social situations, it's considered taboo to talk about the current year and the president or the politics or the religion. And that's part of the whole point of my channel, is ruining social gatherings since 19 whatever 8 2019, whatever it is. So because I think that we need to be doing this more often. I think that it actually reduces the toxicity in the debate by making it something that's more open and honest and available, and also accepting that we can be wrong. So I hope this was interesting to you. I know this was a shorter video, but I think it was really important, so I wanted to condense it more. More just like getting out there that we need to be debating with each other more, and we need to be not debating to prove ourselves right. That's not our job. We're not getting paid for that. Unless it is, then don't listen to me. But we need to be debating to prove ourselves still correct to ourselves, to make sure that our ideas are valid to others and not just ourselves. That our ideas make sense, they make logic, and they actually do come out clean at the end of the day, that there's no holes. This, again, can be applied to religion, politics, economics, what have you, doesn't matter. All these things, it's very important to be able to bounce them off somebody that disagrees with you without hating them. And that's the last key I want to throw out there. Just because someone has a different opinion than you, don't hate them, because they're going to be able to teach you something and you're going to be able to teach them something. And that should be much more valuable than anything else. So, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Have a fantastic day. If not today, always try again tomorrow. And that will be end of video.